This is New York's 95.5 PLJ. I'm Race Taylor. Fluffy is in the house.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Gabriel Iglesias. You got Fluffy the movie. You got the Stand-Up Revolution. You've got Magic Mike, Christella on ABC, and now playing the legendary House downstairs at Madison Square Garden. Congratulations.
That's right, man. All that together, and I still work half as hard as Kevin Hart. Anyway.
Well, then you're doing it right.
Doing it right, man. I'm doing it right.
Congratulations. This is a huge deal. And after starting in laundromats and biker bars and small places like this,
you heard about that?
Did you ever envision anything like this?
Yeah, from laundromats to Madison Square Garden. Yeah. No, I mean, you don't set this as a goal for yourself in life. You set a goal of like, hey, I hope I pay my rent.
Right.
I hope I don't get my car repossessed. Those are the goals I set for myself early on when I started doing stand-up.
That's amazing.
And so to get to this point is awesome. But I mean, to my credit though, I'm on the road 46 weeks out of the year. We roll hard.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, I know. I walked in here with a mini entourage. It looked like
very
guys
impressive.
Couldn't hang with a rap crew, but
but you've got them.
Yeah,
and they've got your back, which is awesome.
Oh, they do got my back, and then some.
I have been blown away by how many places globally you've become a sensation. Is it easy for these people to relate to some of the California comedy, to some of the American lifestyle things you talk about?
At first, I thought it was going to be a problem, and see, it's one of those. You don't know till you get there. Mm-hmm. Like in the beginning, when I would go from California, I'd perform in California, Arizona, Nevada, Texas, and I'm like, I don't know if my material will go over the same way in other parts. And the next thing I know, I'm in Miami, and I'm like, I don't know if the Mexican kid from California can relate to the people in Miami. And so it was always like that whole, once we stepped out of that box a little bit more, I realized that, hey, everybody gets it nowadays.
Right.
The internet is so huge, and everybody studies the United States. Yeah. So when I'm in Canada, everybody's watching American programming. When I'm in Australia, everybody's watching American programming. When I'm in the Middle East, they all watch nothing but American movies.
That's amazing.
And internet, they don't say, oh, I saw you on Comedy Central. They say, I saw you on the YouTube. The YouTube. Oh, you're very popular on the YouTube. So, for example, I've got over something ridiculous on the views on YouTube, but the majority of those views are from outside of the United States.
I did not know that.
So, and they're super hip to all of our culture and our slang and the way we do things.
What are your thoughts on New York City? What other places here in this town have you played?
I've gotten a chance to perform starting off at Caroline's way back in the day. I got to perform at Gotham, both comedy clubs, when they had the first one and then, of course, the second one. I did Showtime at the Apollo in 1998 when Steve Harvey was hosting. That was actually I was pretty nervous for that. I think I was way more nervous to do the Apollo than I am for this weekend. Because the guy that went out right before me got booed viciously.
Right, they're vicious.
And then Steve Harvey, who was the host at the time, he walks that comic off stage like a fighter who just got hugged by the referee, and he's he's like, no more people, no more, no more.
That's great.
And then he walks right past me and he looks at me and he says, "You next." And I'm like, wow. And fortunately for me, it went over very well.
That's fantastic.
But after that, we started playing Town Hall. There was a venue called Town Hall here. I did that a few times. And then we graduated to Radio City Music Hall. Got a chance to play Radio City a couple times. And now we're here. So, I mean, this wasn't an overnight thing. This was definitely it took time from 1997 till now. So 18 years it took to get to Madison Square Garden.
That's amazing, though. And the people that think it just happens overnight, don't look back and realize.
Oh, he's got a couple YouTube videos. That's why he made it. No, fool.
Exactly. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of hours.
A lot of time, a lot of hours. A lot of frequent flyer miles. A lot of jokes.
Did you ever have a backup plan? If it wasn't going to be comedy, what was the plan B, if there ever was one?
I was selling cell phones at the time when I first started doing stand-up, but I knew that I could have been either a teacher of some kind, something to do with speaking.
Right.
So I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but there was no real plan B. I mean, I think the fact that I didn't have a plan B made me focus more on plan A.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I was willing to do whatever it took, and the sacrifice and the time on the road and just, putting everything into it. Mm-hmm. It is a full business. Some people think, oh, it's just telling jokes on stage. No, you got to be involved off stage. There's, the marketing, the branding, the making sure that everything's, going out there the way you want it to go out there.
Right.
A lot of comics don't want to be involved in that, and you have to. You have to be involved in all parts of your business.
Do you have people that run your social media, or if I tweet you, is it all you coming back
It's all me on social media. I do have people that monitor it to make sure that there's nothing crazy out there because, I didn't work 18 years just to get killed by one bad tweet.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that happens nowadays.
Yes, it does.
You know,
It doesn't
somebody
take
hacks
much.
your account and you're done.
Yep. Every so often, the police end up as part of your routine. What's your relationship with them now? They have to come up with a lot of love.
My relationship with law enforcement now is a lot better than the media portrays. I don't want to make the wrong joke because everybody's very sensitive right now. But no, and now when I get pulled over, I get recognized for the most part. It's like, hey, you know. I got stopped about 4 months ago. I was driving a pretty fast car. I got a little crazy, and I saw the officer when he got out, and he looked very young, and I'm like, oh, I got this. He looks young. He looks like he watches YouTube. He looks like he watches Comedy Central, you know, and I'll just wow him with my charm and get out of this. I even had my son in the car. And as soon as he gets to the window, it was just like nothing. It's like this guy was so hardcore, and he didn't give me no break. And I still haven't taken care of that. But usually they'll let me off.